You know, I was thinking the other day that I wanted to do something a little bit different this time for this video. And I wanted to talk to y'all concerning some of the concerns I have in relation to modern Christianity, specifically about discernment. Now, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know I do go over a lot about the pre-tribulation rapture deception, as well as the once saved, always saved deception. And recently I've been kind of going over a little bit about the music industry, specifically the Christian music realm. But just the other day, I wound up posting a video interview that Greg Laurie had on TBN with Alice Cooper. And in that video, Greg Laurie is talking to Alice about how he became a Christian. And of course, you know, I talked about how Alice Cooper really is not a Christian. He's pretty much a modern day or a new age Christian, to be honest with you. He is not a Christian. He has a lot of dark imagery in his concerts, and he's still doing concerts to this day. He's some 70-something years old, I think, and he's still doing concerts to this day. But he claims to be a Christian since the 80s. And I showed in that video how he clearly is not. He has a lot of dark imagery in there. Some of his shows are really wicked and raunchy. In fact, I tried to do a second video showing just how raunchy his videos are, but they were just so raunchy I couldn't even put them on YouTube myself, so I just scrapped that video. But what concerns me is that there's a lot of y'all that don't seem to have very much discernment when it comes to recognizing darkness versus light. Now, when you become a Christian, there has to be some sort of change, okay? And you don't just continue living in darkness. And if what Alice Cooper says is true, he's been that way, been a Christian since the 80s, that's like 40 years. And he's still doing the same stuff he did even prior to his conversion. So, my friends, I feel that he has had a false conversion. And of course, a lot of you all are saying, well, how dare you judge, right? And we hear that a lot from those out there that want to shut down truth. We hear them say that, and they think that's going to shut people up. And a lot of times it does. For a lot of Christians, it does shut them down. They're like, ooh, I don't want anybody to think I'm judging. Ugh. Right? And so we run away and we scurry off in a corner and we're quiet Christians and we don't say anything. But my friends, God calls us to expose those out there, those supposed Christians who are living in darkness, to hold them accountable. Because we don't want other Christians to stumble thinking that, well, Alice Cooper says, hey, God said I can continue in a rock band, so I'm good to go. We don't want other Christians to follow that path and fall into the lake of fire. Because if you continue living in sin, God He's not going to allow you to be part of his kingdom. I'm sorry to say. But you have to have a heart for him. And if you have a heart for him, as Jesus said, you have to love him with all your heart. But not only that, you need to follow his commands. And if you truly love him, you don't want to have anything to do with rock and roll. You don't want to have anything to do with that darkness, that wicked life. You need to leave that life. And Alice Cooper needs to leave that far behind. He needs to talk about the gospel more. He needs to bring people to the light instead of keeping them in darkness. Now, I know what a lot of people are probably going to have a problem with this video, and I understand. I understand it's hard to let go of your fleshly desire to stay in darkness. And, it's already been pretty much determined that most people will go down the broad path of destruction. And very few find the narrow path. But it doesn't have to be you. You have that choice. You can strive to be holy as your Father in heaven is. You can strive to live for Christ, because this life, my friend, is fleeting. It's going away. And when you compare our brief existence here to all of eternity, it's just like a vapor. It's just gone like that. And do you really want to sacrifice eternity for a little bit of pleasure here temporarily? I know I don't. Deny yourself. Pick up your cross and follow Him. And when you do, you'll have an eternal reward awaiting for you when you see our glorious Father in heaven. So I just wanted to make this quick little video, just give you a little bit of my thoughts on that. I've seen your all's comments on my video about Alice Cooper and how you think he's just fine, and how dare I judge him. But we are called to expose darkness and not to run from it. We need to be bold. Tell the truth, no matter how much grief it gets us. And to tell you the truth, that's all I've been doing on my channel. I talk about the pre-tribulation rapture, and I've lost friends over that. So none of what I talk about is gaining me any favors. I get a lot of people angry with me. You think I enjoy that? Nah. But I do it for Him, because the truth matters. Truth matters. Not man-made doctrines, but truth matters. Alice Cooper is not saved. He's not. And I pray that he will be one day, that he'll turn his life around. But, a lot of people who think that they're already worshiping the true Jesus, but are actually following a false Christ. They've been deceived so well that they don't know that they need to search for the real Jesus, because they think they're already following the real Jesus. And that, my friend, is the danger. So that's basically all I got for y'all today in this video. I hope y'all enjoyed it. And like always, if you enjoy this kind of content and want to see more of it in the near future, make sure you like this video and subscribe to my channel. And with that being said, I want to wish y'all a wonderful week. God bless you. And I'll catch you in the next episode. Take care.